Hello and welcome to the Lume
Plotters, and we're here today with another special request of an episode.
Yes, and it's a funky one. It's a really cool one. We will have a lot of enemies after this episode.
Essentially, yes. Hopefully nobody takes it too personally. Nobody gets offended. But the episode is our 5 most hated watches.
The worst. Hate,
or
worst.
The worst, hate, whatever you want to call it. The least liked watches. The watches that if somebody were to gift us, we would either sell it or dispose of it accordingly.
Yeah, the rules were like we have unlimited money so that we are not including these generally shitty watches.
Yes. We don't want to say, oh, yes, my top 5 are Daniel Wellington, Invicta, and Movement, and Vincenzo, or whatever it's called. Those are given, right? Those are terrible watches to begin with, so we're going to ignore those. However, we're going to choose watches that are of a higher caliber, of a higher, expensive watches that you start wondering, why in the hell would somebody put their own money down for these watches?
100%.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's it.
So I think that's a good that's a good thing to say. A good way to start. So that being said, what's on your wrist today?
So on my wrist today is a watch that some people might also find ugly, but I really, really like it. It's my Rolex Sky Dweller in two-tone with the Jubilee bracelet and the black dial.
Which it looks very good on you. The proportions are perfect. Like you, if I were to wear that watch, it would look ridiculous on me. I've tried it, but on you, it looks like a 36 millimeter would look like on me, which is nice.
Yeah, I really enjoy this watch. It's very nice, but I was still thinking of selling it. And
what are you going to get instead? That's
the thing. I'm thinking it's a swap more or less, right? Because a friend of mine got a GMT Master 2 two-tone with the black dial and the Jubilee bracelet and this. What is this? The gray brown. What is it?
The gray and black
bezel. Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah, it's a really good looking one.
Nice in person. And I put it on my wrist and I thought, ooh, wow, I really like it. And he wants basically the same amount of money that my Sky Dweller is worth pre-owned. So the Sky Dweller is more expensive, 15,000 dirhams more expensive retail, but in a pre-owned, it's pretty much the same.
In all honesty, if I know your personality and I know the type of watches you like, I see you wearing a two-tone or a gold GMT before I would have pictured you as a Sky Dweller guy.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I love my
sports
GMTs,
watchy.
Right? But it's also a GMT, the Sky Dweller, technically, right?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think I'll think about it. If he actually does it, because that's always, if he's thinking about it, doesn't mean he does it. And, we will see. We'll see what happens. So, I'm thinking about that. And what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my G-Shock, actually. Once again, usually when I'm at home, this is the watch that I put on. So I will wear something to work, something on a leather strap, most likely. And then when I come home, I either put on one of my Rolexes or this, because it's my home watch. So this is my Casio G-Shock GW5000U, which the big thing about this one, of course, is that it is the Japanese market JDM one with the screw-in case back and the stainless steel core.
Right.
So most G-Shocks, the rubber ones, are using carbon core, which means they weigh nothing. I think, like 30, 40 grams for a regular G-Shock, a rubber one. Or you get this one with the stainless steel case, or a core, I should say, not the case, because the case is still rubber. And it weighs about 80 grams, which makes it much more of a heftier watch. So it doesn't seem so much like a toy.
It's not so flimsy.
So,
but unlike other
rubber, I like it.
Unlike other people, you're wearing a G-Shock at home and not for work. Other people are going to work with a G-Shock to save their nice watches.
Yes, that is the opposite. Yes.
But that's the
but
benefit
I'm
of
okay
working
with
on a
that too.
desk. Yeah.
I have worn a G-Shock to work with a blazer and a button down, so it's
possible.
It's happened
It's
for
possible.
sure. It is. It is. Why not? Why not? Who cares? And that's, perfectly acceptable in my book.
Okay, so our topic
now,
today, the 5 worst watches or the most hated watches or whatever you want to call it. I'll start, and I will start with a controversial one, and I think you probably like it, but I really think it's a bit ridiculous. From a brand that I love, the MB&F Legacy Machine number 9. The one that looks like a spaceship, you would say.
Yeah.
You would say spaceship, yeah. I say it looks very phallic, right? Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So it's just like a spaceship on your wrist. And you think, why would anybody think that's a great idea? And the next thing is you have to wear it on your right wrist in order to see the time. Or you put it upside down. Or whatever. I mean, it's weird because you can't really read the time on it. It's a nice piece, technically, but as a wristwatch, for that hundreds of thousands, 30-meter water resistance, so basically no water resistance, and it's 45 hours of power reserve, which you think with a dual balance spring and all of this stuff in it, and this big case, you would think they could put in a bit more than 45 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's a interesting looking watch. I do like it. I don't think it's terrible. Once again, if I had 350,000 euros, dollars, Swiss francs to spend, would I buy that? No, I wouldn't. But I still think you got to admire it for its its MB&F-ness, right?
It's just for me, cool. I find it ugly. So. Yeah.
And once again, you put it on a nightstand with a watch holder, and it just looks good. It's a clock now, so it's kind of but that's my opinion.
Okie dokie.
I think it's not bad, but all right, it's a good one to start with. So
it gets worse for
mine. I'm gonna make some enemies. Maybe we'll see. So. My first pick, which once again is I would say it's not super hated. We're not getting to the super hate level. We'll save that for later. But for now, I'm going to start with a watch that I do not understand why on earth anyone would ever buy. And that is the Rolex Air King, the current one.
What?
It is.
I love it.
Stupidest watch in the world. The green, the yellow, it is absolutely ridiculous. The 369 applied markers, the mishmash of all of the lettering. It's an Air King, but it was modeled after a car's dashboard.
Yes.
So it just makes
bloodhounds, right?
The
land speeds record holders thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Rolex
think it is
designed
stupid.
the instruments for that.
Yeah, correct. Thing. So for the Bloodhound, Blackhound, whatever it's called, basically it's a land speed record setting, a jet car essentially.
And if you wonder where your money goes from spending on Rolex watches, it goes to sponsoring these kind of things.
Yeah, and then they of course once again put in these, and they were good looking dials. But somehow they bastardized those dials and made this out of it. And I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe if they wouldn't have put Air King on the label, I would be more okay with it. If you would have called it Speed King, I would have said, done. Okay, that's cool. But Air King historically has always been a specific line of watches.
And
this
they looked very similar to just the Datejusts and the Oyster Perpetuals.
No, it was an OP. Yeah,
it is an OP.
So essentially these Air Kings were OPs that were essentially like an entry-level OP, right? It was almost like the cheapest watch in the Rolex catalog at the time. Very basic. And that was cool. But now to make this, and essentially this one is just a mishmash. Is it an Explorer? Is it a
It's actually
Milgauss?
It's a Milgauss. It's a Milgauss case, right? It even has the anti-magnetic casing. I mean, the old one.
But not anymore. Now they put it in this stupid other case.
Yeah, now it's an Explorer
With
case,
the lug.
basically. It's the Explorer 39
now it
case.
has lug guards.
Yeah, but a bit different. Yeah, tiny bit different. And
No, the previous one was the 39, but now with the lug guards.
No, the previous one was the Milgauss.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But the new one, I don't know what. This is a unique bespoke case for this watch, which makes no sense.
I think we will see the next Milgauss probably having the same case as well.
I would be very much okay with that. I love the Milgauss, but I hate this watch.
Yeah,
so
I think it's quirky. I think this is. You're right. It's ugly. It's an ugly duckling watch.
It's the only Rolex watch that has ever been made with a colored Rolex emblem.
Yeah, with the Rolex in also printed. Just printed Rolex.
Printed in yellow and green. And I think it's stupid.
And in green.
Although my wife actually said she liked the colors on this one.
I sort of like it. I understand it's a bit ugly. It's an acquired taste.
It's too much.
But I think it's somehow still cool. I have put it on my wrist once, and then, they were available for way under retail for a long
Nobody
long
wanted
time.
them.
Nobody wanted them. Then pandemic happened and everybody wanted them. Yeah, so whatever. But it's a quirky watch, and that's why I like it, because it's such a non-elegant Rolex, but still a Rolex. So
yeah. But if they were to start putting these yellow and green Rolex emblems on other watches, I think it'd be cool.
But
somehow this one was too busy.
It's when people always saying like, oh yeah, but Rolex always they have the best design, the best, and you look at how many failed ugly watches Rolex made over the years that of course are not anymore produced.
I think I could fix this very easily. I could fix this right now in 2 minutes and it would cost nothing. So here's the thing. Here's what I would do. One, and I would actually like the green and yellow in this scenario. Number one, you remove the triangle from the top. You remove the 369.
Okay.
And you continue the printed numbers. So it'll go 60, 05, or in the 15, 20, 25, so forth, right? It'll have every single...
You mean either have minutes or have hours, but not both?
Exactly. But I would want to complete minutes all the way around.
Okay.
And with 0 applied indices, 0, they could theoretically even Lume the numbers, right?
Yeah, they could.
Which would be cool, but that's outside of Rolex's... they don't want to do that. But so even if it had no Lume, you could have the Lume on the hands. It doesn't matter. But still, do something and remove that damn name from the dial. I'm very, very enraged by that name.
Okay.
I was, by the way, I had to put a Rolex on this list. There's a lot of Rolexes I don't like.
Well, I have one too, but it's not the next one.
Okay, all right. So I wanted to say I was kind of in between choosing a couple other ones. So I'll wait till you tell me which. So you have a Rolex coming, right?
Yeah, but not next.
Okay.
Next,
because then I won't mention anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. We'll discuss more Rolex later.
Okay.
So
my next one. I
what is
show
your
it
next?
to you here is the Spirit of Big Bang Sang Bleu Titanium from Hublot. And if you look at this watch, you cannot tell the time. I've seen somebody wear this watch on the table next to me. It was the blue sapphire one with diamonds on it and all of this stuff. And I looked at this thing, which was way too big for this person's wrist. And it was so ugly. I couldn't look anywhere else. My wife was telling me, like, stop staring at that person's wrist. And I was like, I can't stop. It's so ugly. When you see something that you cannot just stop staring at. Anyhow, so this particular one in titanium, 107,000 dirhams. I don't know. I mean, the hands look like they're trying to imitate the Ulysse Nardin Freak, right?
Yeah.
On the
it
Freak,
looks very
it at
freakish.
least has the movement in it. But here it's things, just lines and completely weird things where you cannot. I have no words. I do like the classic fusion. I think that's actually a nice watch.
Okay, all right. So, I'm going to go into mine now because I'm going to move this ahead.
All right.
I was going to say I despise the entire Hublot collection. except for the 3-hand classic fusion.
yes.
That was what I was going to say. Yeah. So I like the 3-hand classic fusion. The new Hodinkee limited edition 3-hand classic fusion, the not for resale. 38 millimeters, gray dial, gray rubber.
Yeah, it's a cool watch.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, I think
I would totally buy one. If it wasn't for the date window, that's still my issue, date window. Yeah. But I still understand that this is a good looking watch.
Yeah.
However, this morphing into the Big Bang, into the stupid square one that they have, and all of these other lines that they have, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. They even have smartwatches now, which I'll talk about that later. But because I have a smartwatch category as one of my hated.
So
we'll get to that later.
Do you have 5? Or, I mean, I have a bonus one. I have one bonus wristwatch.
I have more than 5 open. Yes.
So good.
I have more than 5. But this is what I was saying is I hate Hublot equally across the line. The only slide I'm going to let go is going to be for the 3-hand classic fusion.
And the next one, I mean, just you can, the spirit of Big Bang, Sang Bleu, titanium, 42 millimeters, whatever. The name is already so long. It's just bad. It's just bad.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's just bad. Okay, what's next? So for you, it was...
we're at 2 each. We're at 2 each. I was going to say Hublot.
Okay.
The entire Hublot range.
Then
I have one more of these entire ranges as well. Okay. So one more.
All right.
But so that's more of a product line instead of a whole brand.
No. I show you something, but please, shield your eyes.
Calm down.
Shield your eyes. Maybe take a piece of paper in front of your, and pinch a small hole in it if you don't have sunglasses. But what I'm going to show you is
it the Yellow Moon swatch?
No.
What?
Yeah, this is the Monte Grappa Chaos in gold. It's about 30,000 Swiss francs. And it's full with skulls and snakes and shit. It looks like
so gross.
It's the worst. I mean, this is also available in steel and other colors, but it's so bad.
I don't want it in any material. Like you could give it to me in unobtainium and I would still say no. That is so gross. So you truly took this, to an extreme. So my watches are a little bit more down to earth than the ones you've been choosing. I have to say,
if you look close,
I don't want to look at it anymore.
I know. You're blinded now, but look at it. It has a leather strap.
And then they put the Roman numerals on it, like
the Roman numerals and the white date disc. See that at 3 o'clock?
Yes, I see that.
Oh my God!
Yeah. And this Monte Grappa labeling.
Oh
no, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah, when we put this on Instagram, I think we will get people to unfollow us because they're saying like, okay, I cannot get this out of my head again.
So I'm gonna go, and mine is going to be in this vein. If we're gonna do hideous, disgusting watches,
okay,
I'm going to choose the Ulysse Nardin Classic Voyeur Erotic.
Oh, which is a hot one.
$375,000 US. This is the one that I chose. This is the one in platinum. And there's of course more.
Take it a bit further away. It was very blurred.
Not suitable for work, right? Okay. NSFW. Okay. There's a whole range of them, but essentially it's just, I don't know how well you can see it. This is the gold one.
Yeah. No, I can
it's just
see
too many details, too many details.
Yeah.
A bunch of people banging in relief, by the way. It's not even like printed or drawn. It's etched into the metal.
Yeah, so you can see it from all different perspectives. That's a more three-dimensional.
And then the guy is clearly, aroused in this. And why would I want to look at my watch and see an aroused male? The erotic scene, there's one thing. There was one with 2 mermaids that were swimming undressed underwater, and I was okay with that one a little bit, but this one, this is 2 dudes and 2 girls in an orgy of some sort, and I think this is beyond ridiculous. And it has a diamond bezel, a baguette diamond bezel.
I do not understand the allure of erotic watches. For me, watches are anything but a place where I would look for pornography. It's just like It's so wrong on so many levels. I just don't understand this. I mean, there are these automatons, right, that usually are either on the back of the watch or something where you can, you can be a bit sneaky. You have a normal watch on the front and then you show the back because nobody sees the back until you take the watch off and say like, hoo, look at this. And then you have a giggle, maybe in the 1800s or something. Right?
Yeah.
But I think,
okay, all right.
But nowadays, I think like, oh, come on, really? It just, I don't know. It's a very acquired taste, I assume. I have no idea who the profile of people buying these watches is, right? I have no idea. It's a mystery to me. Yeah, but I agree.
And for that much money as well, I don't know. But I hate, you listen to Ardent as a whole. There's nothing that I like from them. So. Yeah, we'll let that one go.
I think Ulyssnadar has one or two relatively okay watches. The Divers, I think, and one at Torpille.
Yeah.
Torpille. I know they have some nice watches. Anyhow, so
some of the freaks are actually not too bad, right? There's some freaks out there that I didn't mind.
Yeah.
The Classico is all right. The Classico is extremely plain, very, very.
They just relaunched the Freak, by the way, right? And Nico Lennart did the presentation there somewhere.
It's not cheap either. So
no, but it's at least they
heavy
have
prices
focused on what this watch is about. Right, the movement, and have removed a bit of the garishness of it. And I think that's a good way, right? Because they had a bit of a weird design language in the end. And I think they're focusing back on the watchmaking, which is very good. Ulyssnadar and Girard-Perregaux, they did some amazing watches together, and they were both leading. They designed, I think it was Ulyssnadar who created the first silicon balance spring, right? I mean, they have done some serious watchmaking in the history. So, yeah. Anyhow, so... My next ugly watch that I personally like, but it
doesn't have to be ugly.
But I still
it doesn't have to be ugly.
It's a very hideous watch, and I don't know why people actually wear it. Though I like it, I know it's weird. It's a very schizophrenic way. It's the Ploprov.
Oh my God, it's one of my favorite watches. I've nearly bought one 10 times.
I know, me too. But
it is so cool.
It is cool, but also ugly.
No, it's ugly and beautiful, but this is supposed to be hated. So you hate the watch? You hate the watch.
I hate that I like it. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I'm going to count that one.
Look at it. It is absolutely the least elegant watch in the world.
It's not supposed to be elegant. It is absolutely a piece of engineering genius.
No, why?
Why? Because they made a watch that was waterproof to 1,200 meters back in 1960.
My Super Ocean is 1,500 meters from Breitling. It looks like a normal watch.
1965.
Yeah, but this is the current version, the 2016 version.
Okay, the current one is 12. That one was 600. Nonetheless, 600 and zero water ingress or helium ingress during the what's it called, so they didn't need a helium escape valve because the case was so tight that no helium could get in, right?
See, I think this watch is bulky, it's high, it has this big pusher on the side. For what is the pusher? What is the big pusher for?
That's the lock for the rotating bezel.
Exactly. And you have
that's so cool. That is so cool.
Pusher there. It's like the buzzer of a quiz game show, right? And you think
it's so cool. You're never going to change my mind. I've nearly bought one so many times.
I'm not saying that I want to change your mind. I like this watch. I would buy it.
You know what
but it still is somehow ugly. It's
so
a bad watch.
This is supposed to be the 5 worst watches, the 5 most hated watches, and you're telling me one of your choice that you would buy.
Yeah, I hate this watch because I like it, and it's ugly. It's ugly.
Or you love that you hate it.
I don't know. Maybe,
either way.
Maybe both ways. But it's
my
just,
issue with
it's
it
just a watch that you can't wear for anything except a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah,
it looks just
that's the whole point.
Bad otherwise.
Imagine going on vacation to the Maldives or wherever and wearing this. That would be the ultimate vacation watch.
I've been a few times to the Maldives and I've dived a few times there, but I don't know if I would have taken a Ploprov for that because, like these 8 meters that you dive is not really.
Who cares? It's not the point. You're letting reality cloud your judgment and your
Okay. So
whatever you want to call it.
I do know one
dreams.
person who owns a Blowprof, I think. Yeah.
I know one as well. One or two. Yeah. But the one that my friend has is a vintage one.
Oh yeah, well,
vintage
does to a certain extent
on the original rubber strap.
Yeah, with a ladder, right?
With the big holes in it, or was it leather or rubber with the big circle holes?
Ladder, like a ladder.
Ladder. No. It wasn't. The one that he has is the circle stamped out rubber.
This is the historic one with the.
Oh yeah, that is. It wasn't circles. It was squares. You're right. It is a ladder. You're right. For some reason I thought it was circles. But yeah, the ladder bracelet, the ladder rubber bracelet.
Yeah.
24 millimeter lug width, 24.
So what's
super cool watch? Love it. I love it. No, you pissed me off. I'm going to piss you off right back.
Okay.
The Zenith Zaytona.
Oh, how can you not like
ugliest, stupid watch in the world? It is absolutely ridiculous. It is a blatant knockoff of the Rolex.
No, it's not a knockoff.
With that stupid ceramic bezel, and then they put in their stupid tri-colored, El Primero dials with their stupid offset date window. I despise this watch so much.
I don't.
It is so ugly.
I like it. I think it's very classy. And if you look at the natural progression of the Zenith Chronomasters, without even looking at the Daytona, right? Imagine the Daytona doesn't exist. And you see as the design steps of every Zenith,
you just said it. No. Fine. You just said it. Exactly. If the Daytona didn't exist, it would be totally okay. However, what they decided to do was after, and this was years after the Daytona was 4 years after the Daytona came out?
No, more than that. Yeah, I think
when it's 2021? So it's 5 years after the Daytona came out. 6 years, 5 years, 2015 was Daytona. I don't know my math. 6 years after the Daytona came out, they had 6 years to come up with something decent. And they said, let's put the El Primero movement in the Daytona, essentially, and make colorful subdials. And that was it.
Yeah, but no, the colorful subdials were there before from the Chronomaster already. They had that. That's was there.
And the other thing, you're gonna make a modern quote unquote sports watch with a ceramic bezel, which the whole point of the ceramic bezel is, okay, we're not going to scratch it up, etc. But you don't bother putting any lug, what do you call it, crown guards on it. Why? Those pushers are sticking out like half a meter from the side of that case. By adding crown guards to it, it would have been a lot more integrated, first and foremost. And secondly, maybe I would like it a little bit more because it would make more sense.
But with crown guards, it would look even more than a Daytona.
Yes, but that's if you're saying we're going to make it look like the watch that it should be.
When you look at the differences to a Daytona, then no screw down pushers, no crown guards, date, right?
Doesn't need screw down pushers. That's not an issue.
Yeah,
for me, that's not an issue.
That's what I'm saying. Is the differences to the Daytona. There's plenty of them. I think where they really lost the ball was in the bracelet. The bracelet and the clasp is a 1-to-1 Rolex copy. And that is bad.
No, I think they lost it in the bezel.
No, they had ceramic bezels before. My Zenith D521 has a ceramic bezel.
Okay, make it a blue dial. I wouldn't complain. But they made it this white and black, which is a 1-to-1 copy of the Rolex. And once again, is it trying to be a sports watch? If it is, then where's the crown guards? If it isn't trying to be a sports watch, because the thing is, ultimately, all these other El Primeros, the vintagey ones, right? They don't have crown guards, which makes sense. But if this was supposed to be the modern interpretation of the El Primero watch itself, it needed crown guards.
What I like about this is also that they have the center subdials, right? Not like the Daytona.
It's your regular El Primero subdials.
Yeah.
Which would look good if it... I think, once again, I like the tri-colored El Primero subdials on a blue case, on a gray case, but on the white, it just with the black on the outside, there's too much going on.
Did you see the new one? They're just relatively new.
Which one?
If you go to their website, it's a Chronomaster Sport Pink. It does not have a
pink.
Yeah, it does not have a ceramic bezel. It has a steel bezel. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's copying the older Daytona then?
It's not copying anything. It has a pink dial and it has a pink date disc even. It's super cool.
Yeah, this is a 1-to-1 copy of the old Daytona. I mean, these guys are now, if you're telling me that the previous one...
Well, but if anybody has the right
copy.
to copy a Daytona, is the one who provided the movement for the original Daytona.
I will give you some... yeah, I'll give you that one. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, so this is apparently the breast cancer supporting pink
Susan
dial.
G. Komen Foundation.
But yeah, this is a 1-to-1 copy of the old pre-ceramic Daytonas. I mean...
It's not a 1-to-1 copy. That's for the reasons I mentioned. The case shape is different. The case polishing is different.
It's not different enough.
Yeah, that's what people say. But it's a chronograph, and how many different chronographs? Yeah, I would say it is. Yeah, it's close to the Daytona, but I think when you look at the design language of the Zenith Chronomasters.
So how come Omega and the Speedmaster have never been accused of copying?
Because they don't know where they're going. Look at the Speedmaster. No, Speedmaster, Seamaster. Okay, different story.
No, the Speedmaster, the one that hasn't changed in freaking, I don't know how many years, 60, 70 years now. It's been the exact same, roughly, right? Very minor changes. Sure, they had offshoots, right? But none of these offshoots have ever been accused of copying a Rolex. And Rolex has never been accused of copying the Speedmaster either. The Daytona and the Speedmaster live simultaneously in the same realm, both being chronographs, and there's zero overlap.
Yeah, as I said, I think
so. You can't tell me that there isn't a way to make a chronograph that isn't a copy of either one or the other.
It's harder nowadays because everybody is accusing everybody of stealing whatever their designs. But I think in this case, it's just not really that. I think the Daytona has these offset subdials on 3 and 9, right? So they're top, going more to the 12 o'clock version side. It has these crown guards. It has to push the screw down pushers, or the protected pushers. It has this typical Rolex case shape, I would say, right? With the oyster case, which is, I think, relatively special, and the Zenith doesn't have that at all. It has a very different case shape. The mid case is very different. Even the lugs and how they're connecting, everything is different. But it is just the first glance from across the room, you might mistake these two on a 10-meter distance. And that's probably why the people are getting so upset about it. But if you look at it in detail, there's too many things that are different, except the bracelet, which I think is that was a wrong move. But anyhow, that's it. Okay,
right.
I can understand.
Moving
but
on.
It's
Moving on.
watch. Okay, fine. All right. So now I just have to quickly.
This is number 5.
Yeah, I have to show this on to you because it's not as easy to show. And it's a watch that actually is from a very, very popular watch designer. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a beautiful picture of it. Yeah. So, and it is a Gerald Genta watch. And yes, Gerald Genta created a lot of shitters. This is the Bulgari Gerald Genta Tourbillon Sapphire in white gold, limited to 25 pieces on a crocodile leather strap with a skeleton dial. And it looks like, I mean, the case size is 53 millimeters. The crown has spikes that are shooting out. Like, I have no idea what he was thinking designing it. He put screws on the outside of the case It's just I cannot tell you how weird that watch is. It is just insanely weird. Great watchmaking, tourbillon, skeletonizing, all of the stuff, fantastic, white gold. You can have this watch right now for about $100,000. Original retail price was $210,000, so 50% discount. And that is a Gerald Genta design. And it's even signed Gerald Genta, right? There you go.
Yeah, but then he also has those new Genta lines. What are they called? Something.
Now, I'm not talking.
Gerald
Charles is not. Don't get me started. Gerald Charles has nothing to do with.
But it's an honorable mention in this case.
And it's also very ugly. Yeah.
Yes.
Blah.
It is.
Yeah. Not my cup of tea. That would have been also a good choice for bad watches.
That's what I was thinking. Is you're going to go that way, but you didn't. So, all right. So that rounds out your 5, right?
Yeah, plus my bonus one that comes the next. Yeah.
Well, we'll do that afterwards. We can go into 6. All right. This is I really am struggling here because this is a watch that people have shown me so many times, and I'm supposed to like it. And I'm going to pull it up. And I just don't. I think it's so stupid. And you can, you can yell at me all you want. I just think it is a cheap-looking watch, and I think it's ridiculous. I need to.
See, I still don't know what it is. So
yeah, you still don't know what it is. I haven't shown you yet.
Blasphemy!
Before you start yelling, I'm going to pull up.
You are wrong. It's the most beautiful watch in the world. Okay, what is it?
Where's the Blancpain Villaret? I don't know what it is.
Villaret.
Date. The one with just the little square date window that's too far inset. It's got some weird looking, and I think I would say this ties with the Breguet tradition for me. Both of them are just very, very plain dress watches.
That is a very plain dress watch. It's a bit like a Patek Philippe. It's a very, very.
But it's a Blancpain, and I'm just thinking to myself, if I was going to get a Blancpain, I'm not going to buy this. I would go for one of their divers.
Yeah,
and it just to me, this is what it looks like to me. I don't know how well you can see this, but to me, it looks like this Mont Blanc Star Legacy. It just the Mont Blanc Star Legacy costs about $1,000, and this one costs, of course, the Blancpain costs considerably more. The same thing with the Breguet.
Yeah, this is a watch that you buy for the movement because it's a beautiful movement. It's a nice watch.
Yes, but why wouldn't you put the? Yes, but I understand. By the way, I'm not arguing that the movement's not good. I'm arguing if you had this nice movement, why would you put it into this disgustingly hideous dial and case? There is nothing going on.
It's white
here.
And Roman numerals. That's it.
With a square date window it looks like it should be a base at a movement in there.
Yeah, but
because it's so far inset, doesn't matter. That's what it looks like. Once again, if it looks like a $1,000 Mont Blanc.
Well, but you can make the same case about the patrimony of Vacheron Constantin and the Patek Philippe.
No, but for some reason, I'm not talking about the,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
they're all looking the same. They're all very boring. The Breguets, the Standard 300s, they're all very boring watches. These are not
But those two specifically.
Enthusiasts.
Kind of, the Breguet also... The classique automatic with that weird, like guilloche looking dial.
Yeah, guilloche is as well something when you see how guilloche is made, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, of course, I admire it.
Does it mean you have to like it? No. I mean, see, lots of things are very hard to make. Doesn't mean you have to like them. You have to like the design.
And I don't like the Breguet has the straight lugs up and down.
Yeah, that's also a bit. That's tough. It's tough to like sometimes. Yeah, and I think. You're right. These Blancpain watches could be beautiful dress watches. They're not. I looked at a couple of Villarets before because you can get them for really great deals. And from a watchmaking perspective, they're fantastic. But yeah, I also never pulled the trigger. I mean, I'm a I'm a
But
fan of
this is
Blancpain.
kind of the issue is
My
we
wife
cannot
has
say a
a
small.
perpetual calendar, but a 35 millimeter solid gold version.
And
that's
once again,
different, right?
as soon as you get into complications, it
Yeah.
somehow fixes itself.
Exactly, yeah.
But with these plain three-handers, it looks so bland.
Yeah.
And we can't say that all three-hand watches have to be bland. I have nothing but those in my collection.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? And they're all unique case shapes, different dial colors. There's ways to make it not look like a shitter. And unfortunately, these guys.
But for me, this watch,
did
this
not
Blancpain is just a May watch. I wouldn't even, it doesn't evoke for me any.
No, but I've seen
reaction,
so many
right?
people say, look at my Blancpain. And I'm like, is it a 50 fathoms? And they show me this. And I'm just like, ugh. And that's my issue.
Yeah, well, so I
Right?
think
This has happened at least
some
like
people
2-3
it.
times. And I have zero feelings for it in terms of like,
Yeah, the
liking
three-handers
it,
are a bit
so-
bland. I give you that. That's, yeah. So now
All
I'm
right.
giving you my bonus.
I'm going to have 2 bonuses I've decided.
Okay, I give you just my one bonus, and my one bonus is,
Okay,
is
what's
from Rolex, and it's from a line that I really really like. One line of that line, a sub line. There's a line called the Yardmaster, right?
Is it the Yachtmaster 2?
Yes, the Yardmaster.
I was going to put it.
The
Yes,
Yardmaster
yeah.
2
It was going to be on mine.
is so ugly. I love the Yardmaster
Yes.
1 in all shapes and forms, in titanium, in small and big, in different color variations, in platinum with the platinum
Isn't it
bezel.
44 millimeters?
It is 44 millimeters, and it's just
Massive.
ugly. It is ugly in two-tone. It's ugly in steel. It's just I don't understand this watch. I know it
Me
has
neither.
this command bezel, and it has the 10-minute countdown.
It's highly functional.
It's super cool functionality, but how they put the Yardmaster 2 on the dial in these humongous letters.
It reminds me of the two-door
so
Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
It's so shouty. It's so
Yeah.
ugh. Yeah, it's so I don't know. It's just like no, it's ugly. Yeah, so that's my bonus.
This was my runner-up. This was the runner-up for my Rolex choice. So,
But again,
also
the normal
honorable mention
Yardmaster-
goes to the Deep Sea Challenge. Honorable mention.
yes,
Right?
I agree with that. Yes, that's true. But I also think that the normal Yardmaster, I mean the Yardmaster 1, if you want to say it like that, is just Yardmaster is great. I love that watch. I think it's very underappreciated. But the Yardmaster 2, I can't get my head around. 44 millimeters. There might be people with very big wrists that really like that watch because it's suiting their wrist or so. But I can't.
I was going to put the Sea Dweller, the 43 millimeter Sea Dweller, but then I took it off for this specific reason, is because just because it doesn't fit me doesn't mean it fits someone else, right? Or it wouldn't fit someone else. But this one, it's just ugly. It has nothing to do with the size. It's just an ugly watch. So, you know what? I'm going to only have one
Okay.
bonus watch, and it's going to be a line of watches. And I know you like these, but I'm still going to say it.
Okay.
This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak offshore entire range. I think they're absolutely ridiculous. They're stupid. They're ugly. Specifically, that stupid music edition one. I hate them. I hate them so much.
Yeah, I'm a bit in split minds about the
What
music
about that
edition,
chronograph that doesn't have any actual markings? What was it called? The
this
some kind of
SYX sticks wicks
Yeah, something.
special edition. That is also
and
something.
like,
where
what's
you
the
think,
purpose of having a chronograph if you don't have any markers to tell you what it is?
I don't understand what that watch is about. It's
For
just like
100,000 euros,
it makes
pounds,
zero
whatever.
sense. Yeah, but I think the Royal Oak. I still don't understand myself. I think the Royal Oak itself is a very classic design, the normal Royal Oak. The Royal Oak
Yep,
offshore,
I agree.
is especially when they came out with like the Beast and all of these models, right? I mean, they actually named it appropriately. It was a beast. It was big. It was very industrial looking for a Royal Oak. It wasn't elegant. It was chunky. It was for its time very big. I think it was very tall as well. It has come down, of course, a lot, and there's lots of different versions. But I also feel like maybe Audemars Piguet is just doing a bit too many special and limited editions, a bit too many things like the music version, for example, which I thought having this kind of a sound spectrum on the watch, okay, but what is it? Is it a specific part of a specific song? Is it something? And there could be such a nice story about it, right? I mean, like, you remember these, when you have a spectrum of something, you see then, and you can see that this is the spectrum of a specific song or something, right? And it's but this
or lyrics or something, right?
It's just like, all right, it's a spectrum analyzer, and we don't know anything about it. It's just a DJ funky watch. We want to be cool.
And this is what I was thinking: is who would buy £100,000 or euro watch? It would have to be some big DJ, right?
Maybe,
this is the only person that would buy this.
Somebody,
to me.
I think we know has it, right? Somebody in our watch group.
I don't know.
I
know
that
that Filipino guy has it. What's his name? He's all over the watch pages. Archie something or another. He was on watch. What was it? The Watchbox's collection guide. He has that one. But this guy also has a Kodo, Grand Seiko, and a bunch of other ridiculous stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, okay, I understand the Royal Oak Offshore. I think the Royal Oak Offshore Diver is also one of the watches that I sort of like. Some of these watches are...
What about those prototypes, or what do they call them? Experimental or something?
Concept. Yeah.
Yeah, those are also ugly.
Some of them are ugly. And I think some of these Royal Oaks are like the Royal Oak Offshore Diver. When I put it on my wrist, I thought, it's actually nice. It actually works. I really liked it on my wrist. Seeing it on photos, sometimes it's just like, nah. But the same experience I had with Rolex watches. Maybe I didn't get it before, but until I really put a modern Rolex watch on my wrist, I didn't see the appeal of a Rolex watch. And the moment I had it on my wrist, I thought like, oh, right, this actually is cool. I really like it. It feels great. It fits great. It's comfortable. It's super well made. With a Submariner I had before, the old references with the rattly bracelet and the stamped clasp and all of this stuff, I never felt anything that drew me to wearing a Rolex watch. Same with the Royal Oak. Once I put it on my wrist, and I thought, actually, that does look nice on my wrist, and I do like to look at it from on my wrist. But we are all influenced, right? I mean, we are all influenced by all of these Instagram stuff. The more we see something, the more likely it is that we like it, right?
So it's the opposite with me. Yeah. The more I see it, the more I hate it, because I generally tend to not like popular things. So it just kind of bugs me that it's a popular choice. I think if it was to have remained when the first one came out in 93, 96, whenever it was, is that one around the time frame the first one came out? I believe. If they were to have stayed, because remember, no one liked them. They were ugly.
Yeah.
And if it was to have stayed in that ugly, hated category, then I may have liked it. Yeah. But because it became so popular, and for me, it's one thing to like an ugly watch that no one likes, because you're the only one that likes it. But if everyone likes the ugly watch, then you start thinking, what the hell is wrong with everyone?
Yeah, but why do you like it, right? It's a bit of a group dynamic, obviously. Very often happens that people say like, oh my God, it's a Royal Oak, and everybody's like, what's so special about it? And it's like, oh, don't you know, it's an Audemars Piguet, and you can't get one, and you have to, do an interview with the sales representative, and then maybe you get allocated one, and so it's the scarcity and other things that make this watch so much nicer than another watch.
It's the stupidity.
It's a bit of a group dynamic. It happens that we think if these watches were available for retail or for lower than retail anywhere, would people still run and get them? I'm not sure about it.
I don't think so.
Yeah. The normal Royal Oak, I would say yes, because it is
I think
nice
the Jumbo
design.
specifically is a beautiful design.
And it is a very comfortable.
But everybody says that.
Who knows? I mean, it's especially with the Royal Oak Offshore, the chronographs, when you see the old ones with the sunken date window, because they use the modular the modular chronograph module on top of the normal movement. And so that the date window is so far in the case that they have this little magnifying glass, and it's just like a tunnel. You're looking into it and you think, AP? Really? Seriously? I mean, this is like one of the Holy Trinity. So how is this? I mean, and now they have
I think they should have been removed. Honestly, I honestly believe that AP should have been removed from the Holy Trinity a long, long time ago. I think there's no place for AP in this realm, in this Holy Trinity. I think there are likes of other brands that could have taken that spot. And I think someone else should have. I believe if we're going to say there's 3 watch brands that are the peak of manufacturing, I honestly believe that maybe Lange should be on this instead.
Yeah, but it can't be a trinity of Swiss watchmaking because it's not Swiss.
It doesn't have to. No, it's a trinity of watchmakers. It doesn't have to be Swiss. Nobody said it had to be Swiss.
Yeah, it did. Holy Trinity of Swiss watchmaking.
Then we can find something else. What else could you throw in there? JLC, maybe. But
JLC is just such a beautiful company that I really, really love. But I feel they don't know really
what they're doing,
where they're going, and what they want. I mean, now increasing the prices by 40% and then still not selling. And I have a feeling we will go back to discounts very soon again. When
I think so,
because everybody just thinks like, oh, expensive. And you know what? The other thing I need to rant. Everybody's launching something in 10 days, in 5 days, and making a countdown. Longines did this with the new ladies' watch, right?
Yeah.
Then Hodinkee is doing this with the 10th of October, something is coming out. And then there's the next watch.
No, it's the sale on Hodinkee.
Is doing this now. And you think like, come on, not everybody needs to create this hype. You can just launch something, right? If it's nice, people will talk about it. But don't try to create hype for everything. It just makes no sense anymore. Like the last Tudor release, right? When we had this.
Yeah.
Where we all,
don't get me started on that one.
Something new is coming, and we were trying to analyze the trailer and all of these little things there. And then it was just another color of the Pelagos, which is an FXD
cool,
is nice.
But you didn't
cool,
need a countdown for it.
We expected a
it would
new
have been
line.
It would have been better as a surprise, right? I remember when the Black Bay Blue came out, the 58 Blue.
Yeah.
And it was a surprise. One day we woke up and there was a blue Black Bay 58 and everybody was like going insane, right? That's what you should do. There was no countdown. It was super quiet, just released.
There were some rumors,
cool.
I think, going around.
Yeah, there was rumors, but there was no official countdown. So,
I think
anyway, there's one more watch that I want to talk about that I hate.
Okay.
I saw one the other day. The Tag Heuer Connected.
Yes.
The smartwatch. What do we think about this?
To be honest, if you're taking, for me, a smartwatch with a display off, it could be a Tag Heuer Connected, it could be the Mont Blanc, it could be
the Samsung Gear.
GT4, GT5, whatever we are at the moment. I was completely indifferent.
This is my issue.
Yeah, completely indifferent.
So this is my issue. I saw somebody wearing this today, and I literally looked at the guy's wrist and said, Samsung. And then I realized after looking at it twice that it was actually a Tag Heuer.
Yeah.
And that to me is ridiculous. Why would you pay how much more than the Samsung? They had this when they came out. I think they had this you buy this connected watch and then you can if you don't like it, if you don't want it,
you can swap it, or you can buy a mechanical watch in a year's time
for 3,000 dirhams.
A special better discount or something, and only if you are an owner you can get it. Yeah, I don't know.
But you know what movement they were putting in it, right?
No.
It was just an ETA 2824, Salida SW 200. It was nothing big. And I've Googled this. I've never seen a conversion actually done. So I'm wondering if it ever happened.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. I have not seen that either.
Because I remember this was the big deal. If you don't like it within 1 year, you can
swap
get it converted. Because the case itself, by the way, the case to me was resembling the weird, Beaver was really pushing these weird Tag Heuers and one had a tourbillon and these giant cases that, what were they called? The Carrera TO1, I think it was called.
You know what's the best-selling watch in the Tag Heuer lineup?
I'm gonna guess either a Formula One
The Connected.
or a.
It's the biggest seller. Yep.
Gross.
I'm just telling you.
That's gross.
That's why I think. I mean, they are now doing a great job. I think Tag Heuer did a fantastic job of getting really cool watches out. I think their new, the last 2-3 years of their releases are really, really nice. The new Caliber 5 watches are cool. You know the one, sorry, are they called Caliber 5? I don't even know. Not Caliber 5.
Yeah, something like this. Caliber something.
Not Diver. But yeah, anyhow, so they have really nice watches coming out. And I think from the Ottavia onwards, right, the Ottavia was also really cool, the Ottavia line. I think they have released really a hit after hit after hit. But I think so they are really back in making really nice watches. They were a bit in this bargain bin area somehow, right? And it's going down market rather than up market. And I think they're on a nice trajectory now. But I think the connected watches, I think they just, everybody tried to just embrace the smartwatch as a thing. And yeah, I think the market has spoken. You have either fitness trackers, you have real sports watches for sports tracking, like the Suntos and the Garmins and all of this stuff. And then you have the Apple Watch for the rest of everybody and the Ultra for a bit more adventurous people. But that's basically it. I mean, I don't think there is necessarily a market for luxury smartwatches.
I mean, the Apple is the luxury smartwatch.
Yeah, it's already expensive enough, right? When you think about it. When you think about what you pay for, let's say, Huawei or whatever smartwatch, and you pay what you pay for Apple Watch, sure, the quality is way different, and it feels very much better than necessarily a normal smartwatch that is cheaper for like 10th or 20% of the price. But I do feel you get most of the functionality if you really need it for, let's say, health tracking, other things. But on the other hand, I mean, Apple really does a good job of doing these things from the AKG that you have. Yeah, EKG, not AKG. AKG is a headphone manufacturer and microphone audio company. EKG, and you have the other things that you can do, the artificial fibrillation and all of this stuff. That I have 2 of my friends have this condition, so it is fantastic if you have a watch that can figure that out early. It can save lives, right? Or the fall detection that they had in the beginning for people who have a tendency to fall or a bit on the older side. Lovely stuff. I mean, these really can save people. Crash detection in your car, all of this stuff. And that's only things that usually only Apple does. No other manufacturer starts these things, right? I mean, they copy, but usually these kind of thinking about maybe humanity, maybe a bit of like, how can we make the world a better place or how can we save our customers from any kind of misery? That's actually quite nice.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah.
On that bombshell.
But Tag Heuer has in their connected watch, I think, a specific, is it a golf app that is apparently really cool? Golfers use this a lot.
I have no idea.
I think so. I think it's a Tag Heuer that has that. So they have some, of course, it's an Android OS, I think, Wear OS, whatever, it's from Google. But they have a few specific apps that are made for that watch that are exclusive, as far as I know. And they're quite nice. But yeah, okay, I'm not golfing, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, all right, we've rambled on enough, long enough for
so what is
these 5 watches?
The worst of my worst watches? From your perspective.
What were they again? I've already forgotten.
The Hublot,
you had the
Spirit of Big Blang.
Oh, that stupid Montegrappa. That was the worst one. That was, it made my eyes bleed. I hated it so much.
Yeah, I think it's really
oh my God. Yeah. What about from mine?
From yours?
Mine were fairly plain.
Yeah.
Bland.
Yeah. I don't know.
You liked all of them.
Actually, that's true. I liked a lot of them. What was the first one that you had?
The Rolex, the Air King.
What was the second one then? That's one of the first few.
The second one was a Hublot, I think.
That was the entire Hublot range, yeah.
The entire Hublot except for the Classic Fusion.
Okay.
And then we said the Blancpain Villeret, the AP Offshores.
Yeah.
What else did I have on there?
Well, there's not so many really bad watches. Then I would actually think probably one of
the erotic watches.
Oh yeah,
the Ulysse Nardin erotic
that was
watches.
your worst one. Yeah. This particular one was definitely your worst one.
Yeah.
And it has
$373,000.
It has the same design ideas like the Monte Grappa.
The same ethos as the one, the Monte Grappa. Yes, exactly. I know exactly. Yeah. And that's why I said it when you said your Monte Grappa one, because this was in the same vein.
Yeah.
It's solid gold or platinum. And it's, exactly. All right, guys. On that bombshell, it's time to end. I hope we at least upset some of you guys.
Yes, hopefully.
Let us know how much we upset you. Send us a message on Instagram at LumePlotters, and we will see you next week.
And that's it for us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.